Hello. Explodes. Don't know how long I'll be sticking around because I'm still watching IGL. Valid. Well, thankfully, we probably won't have to think about much with this new hentai. That's the hope, at least. First off, these nails. These ones, things are falling off, but that's okay. W nails, right? Oh, can't wait to hear your reaction. I'm nervous, girl. I'm nervous. Okay, we're just gonna get into it. Low key. We all want EMIL, not just me, right? Well, yes. I mean, we all nervous? Thanks, Steves. I did these nails and I was like, I was gagged. They're like you can tell they're not professionally done. But I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. I like him. I like him a lot, personally. All right, team. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of finagling for this. Actually, I don't think I will. Perfect. All right, so I think this is also English translations, so that's good. I need to make sure this is not too loud. Okay. All right, let's go, team. Oh, to fully cure EMIL, Ada began a new treatment based on Delphi. At first, everything went smoothly, but as memories of fear were gradually replaced by the unknown, EMIL grew increasingly volatile and violent. Like a beast stripped of its humanity, he became hostile toward anything he perceived as a threat. Oh no, Jeeves. No, don't do that. I might have to increase that a little bit. That's okay. All right. I caught a glimpse of the in-game model, which, I mean, hey. Do you see what I see? Yes. Yes, actually. Yes. Yeah. I mean, hashtag need that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. He's kind of really fine. I cannot lie. Okay? Like, look at him. Are you kidding? Okay. Deliciousness. Deliciousness. Yum yum. Okay. External trait. Bestial awakening. Should we read it first or should we watch it first? Thoughts, team? What should we do? I'm going to let you guys decide. Should I watch it first or should I read it first? Let me know. Read? Okay. Bestial awakening. Hertzier normally remains in human form. In this mode, first off, prediction number 1, correct. We got the transformation, but obviously that was obvious. He gains sensory overload and can detect What? He can detect survivors within 36 to 48 meters using abilities, performing a normal attack, destroying pallets, or taking similar actions switches him to beast form for 8 seconds. Okay, period. Wait, that's crazy. Does he just have permanent aura reading if it's like between 36 to 48 meters? So like if you're very close to him, obviously you're not going to be able to see through walls. That's actually a interestingly balanced way to do it, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, I guess you cooked. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, interesting. It's not even aura reading. It's just like a form of... Okay. So it's essentially bigger tinnitus range? Whoa! And he goes crazy mode. External trait Shred. Hertzier's normal attack, Shred, has 2 stages. The first is Pounce. Hertzier leaps up and attacks on the way down. This attack deals no damage and has no additional hit recovery. If he attacks again within 4.5 seconds, he performs Intercept, dealing 50% of normal attack damage. Interesting. He's a moments before disaster, he's a chip hunter? Wait, so he can't do normal attack damage, but instead of like a basic attack, he leaps and does chip damage. That actually seems pretty strong. I cannot lie. So he will do a jump, and then you have to hit again. I see. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, I see. Wait, so... What do you mean that... Wait, I'm confused. Because the leap does damage. But then if you choose to, again, you can chip hit. Boom. Interesting. Okay. I think I understand. Mark of Prey. When Hertzier hits a survivor with Shred or Lunge, they gain Mark of Prey for 40 seconds. Subsequent Shred or Lunge attacks against marked survivors deal an additional 50% of normal attack damage. This mark is removed after triggering twice? I don't know how I feel about that. It seems kind of strong. I cannot lie. Okay.
My professional diagnosis is that this might be a dog.
Probably. Okay, I'm confused. Hold on. We need to back up a little bit. Okay, this is the mark. So if he hits at all, it does an additional chip damage. You can do chip or normal hit, I see. And then whenever they're marked, it will always do an additional chip hit. So a chip hit will essentially be a normal attack, and a normal attack will essentially be 75, like a Joseph hit. Right? Am I understanding that correctly? I think I am. It seems, I mean, I think the big thing is that it does it twice. This is also interesting. I'm having a difficult time understanding him. Ability, lunge. Press the ability button to lunge forward in the chosen direction for 7 meters. Hold the ability to charge in place before lunging. The longer the charge, the further the lunge, up to 14 meters, so you can double the range. If you hit first time, it's not anything. Then you do normal damage if you have the mark. Otherwise, you only do chip. So it's like a, lunging only leaves a mark. Oh, I understand. I was so confused because, going back really quickly, I was confused because this lunge was doing damage, like here, for example. But it's because they have a mark that it does damage. Right? Because if you hit the first time, it doesn't do anything. And if you do normal damage, then if you do normal damage, if they have the mark. Wait, what? I feel like I'm overcomplicating him. My apologies. Okay. He seems really cool. I feel like I've been wanting a combo hunter, and he feels like a really good combo hunter. Like, immediately. Okay, yeah, I see. Normal damage with mark, chip with no mark. So it's sort of like the same philosophy as hitting outside of a cage with Goatman versus inside of a cage. Right? Am I understanding that correctly? I think that's what it is. Yes? Okay. I understand now. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the gameplay doesn't really change much then. Because on first hit, you're always going to leave a mark, and you're always going to do chip damage. And then, no, I understand. So he's a 3-hit. 3-hit down. Because the first time you do chip damage, and you leave a mark, and the second time you'll do 50, a normal attack, which leaves you at 75, and then you have to hit again. I see. But he makes up with it with like crazy mobility and stuff, I suppose. And that lunge can also obviously do damage. Ability Heightened Senses. Press the ability button to detect survivors within 30 meters, causing them to leave a trail at their location. Is this Warwick? They leave another trail every 20 seconds, up to 3 trails. Each trail lasts 30 seconds. When Hertzier senses a trail by stepping on it, yep, his movement speed increases by 10%. Lunge and pounce become faster, and Lunge's cooldown is reduced by 6 seconds. That's kind of crazy. Look at him go! Look at him go! What a dog doing? Holy combo. Ability, Mark of Prey Pursuit. The maximum number of Mark of Prey stacks increases from 2 to 3. So this is obviously your, you know. Yeah, the jump is his basic attack, which is crazy. That's so interesting. These are presence upgrades. So this is max presence, I'm assuming. Surely that's like... Oh no, wait, do I understand this? Okay, it looks like he can do 2 lunges back to back here, at least. Because, like, I think it's... Hold on. You can watch, whenever they do the lunge here, it goes on, like, this cooldown thing. But I'm assuming you can lunge again. Because this here, you're able to hit and then lunge immediately after. Which is interesting. There's that ping. Whoa. Dude, what a cool character. Lunge, jump, intercept. I feel like, he kind of works similarly to how I was envisioning in my head, if I'm honest. Kind of like a do damage by just hitting Hunter. But like, it's a lot more combo heavy than I expected, which I actually really like. And I think I understand this. I think his kit is relatively straightforward. It's almost like a fighting game character. Yeah, true. He's going to be really fun. I think he's going to be because he's so fast paced, I think a lot of people are going to struggle playing against him, especially playing against character, like if he's really, really good. Also, yeah, he is pure chase. Love that for me. I love pure chase hunters. So I might actually pick him up. I wasn't that interested. He's so fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, he is so fine. Sorry. My apologies, but you know, not for me. I love fast characters. Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited to play him. I wasn't anticipating you and Duke have the same brain. We're both gay. What do you expect? I wasn't expecting to enjoy the idea of playing him, but why is this actually peak? Duos with Hunter, Hertzier and Geisha? No, true. The 2 transforming characters. Yeah, I wasn't anticipating being interested in playing him much at all, but he's kind of T. I feel like they've done in him, pause. In Hertzier, they've done a combo character right, I think. You can also take advantage of Tipping Point during endgame. True. I wonder if Tipping Point, because that's the one that increases chip damage too, right? I wonder if how that would interact with whenever people have the mark. You know what I mean? Like, would that just transform into normal detention damage? Because obviously the chip damage just does. Yes, it does. Period. Crazy how they actually made a proper combo character. Yeah, I'm very excited. I haven't felt. What was the last? The last hunter was Dentist, which he seemed cool, but I was just like, after playing him, I'm like, no, thanks. Um, I feel like the only character that could be counted as a combo hunter that like I have seen so far would technically be Hullabaloo. In my opinion, I think he would count as a combo hunter, but like not in the same way. Not in the same way this is. You know what I mean? Different types of combos. Hertzier seems to have a what I'll describe as a sequential combo, and Hullabaloo has a combo through abilities more so. I feel like most characters have a combo through abilities, such as Axeboy as well, with his instant down attack. But like his combo is do this, then this, then this, then this, instead of, you know, with Hullabaloo you place clown and hit. Knee jerk is preferred versus him, so much nightmare. I see. Gamekeeper is also a combo hunter, true. I feel like again, like that more fits. I guess no, he would also be counted more towards like that sequential sort of vibe. Either way, Hunter Emil looking pretty fire. Also, being able to jump over things is kind of. I feel like I'm not putting enough attention to this because this is jumping over pallets. He's gonna be a Terrashock demon, dude. He's gonna be a TS nightmare for everyone involved. Because like imagine all the pallets and windows you vault thinking you are safe from the TS, only to be like, oh yeah, I forgot he leaps and he can just hit me regardless. You know what I mean? He's gonna be an absolute terror shock demon. At least the first like few months, I think. Like if Nightmare could jump as high as Lucino, no truly. He's not quite I don't think he power creeps Nightmare though. At least in like the category of the jump specifically. Because there's a lot more short ranged. However, he can just like he doesn't have to vault ever. Because this also doesn't have much of an attack recovery, apparently. Because this attack deals no damage and has no additional hit recovery. So if you're just like wandering around, and if you don't hit anyone, and you jump over something, and if you don't hit anything and you basic attack, there's no like hit recovery. According to this tooltip, if you don't like hit someone with a mark or whatever, there's no attack recovery. So you can just kind of jump, I think is what it's saying, which means you can just jump through windows. There's like no reason to vault ever. Biggest thing, Imo, is that he's pretty straightforward. He might suffer versus harassers. True. Because he also is, I mean, maybe. He has no control situations, right? He is a, like, the most purest definition of a chase hunter. So he doesn't have any resource to stop, you know, to halt harassers other than two things, which is persona web stuff for help or slugging. Like that's the only thing you could do. Thankfully, he seems to be a hunter that is probably going to be pretty. You're going to be able to slug pretty easily. So I don't even think you're going to have to worry all that much against harassers. I wonder how you want to do it though. I don't know. Emil seems to also not need blink. That's true. Yeah, I can see people using patroller peepers and warp. I feel like um hmm I think peepers for sure. Mainly for slowdown and chase, even though you might not even need it. Um, I don't think there's any reason to bring confined space on him, like ever, because you could just jump through windows and it's really not big of a deal. Um, Obviously you want tipping point, so you might as well build into detention. And then I don't think he needs Inso, so I think you'll probably just run trump card detention, honestly. I think he'll still want blink for convenience. I don't know. I think you could get away with it. I think it's like, this might be a bit crazy, but I think it's gonna end up feeling similar to Hullabaloo. How you can run blink on Hullabaloo, but it's kind of like not, you don't really need it. I don't really think he'll need blink, but I think it'll be like a, if you want to if you want to combo even more, might as well, you know what I mean? I think it'll be more likely that you bring something like warp on him. Because he also doesn't have any chair pressure at all. Like there's not really anything you could do at chair to, at least from what I'm understanding. It doesn't seem like you can really do much at chair compared to hunters like Axe Boy or Violinist or Naiad or whatever. So I feel like he might be a hunter that benefits more from just going as fast as possible. He's gonna love I mean all hunters love it, but panic. I wonder if it would be it could be interesting to like get chip hits on people just to trigger panic before you even go for a first like down, you know what I mean? Cuz also I feel like Doctor is going to be one of his biggest counters for sure. Doctor bans are going to be plentiful for people playing Heartsier. Maybe peepers to leave around the map like at Cypher's, true. Or to cut people off. I think peeper, warp, obviously you're gonna have trump card. So you probably want to go peeper anyway, so that way you can swap to warp or anything else that you might need. So I think the base is gonna be peeper, and then you bring trump card to swap to something that you need. I feel like most chase hunters end up feeling like that. But yeah, this jump is kind of crazy. I'm really curious to... I'm curious to see how people adapt to playing against him. And then the shred has a attack recovery. Mark of Prey. And this lasts for 40 seconds. And at max presence, you can trigger it 3 times. Also, wait, hold up. We were predicting stuff when we were doing predictions. I can't remember who brought it up, but something about the whistle in his kit or in his lore was going to be important. There it is. This is the whistle. Whoever said that got it right, dudes. Cordis's counter reminds him of getting shot by Orpheus. No. Honestly, running excitement on him probably is valid too. It obviously depends on the team comp you're going against, but I feel like that's what's gonna help him against harassers. Also, this is a crazy, crazy pause. What? Why does he look like that? Okay. I mean, he just wants to give you a hug, bruh. It's crazy how this lunge can go double the distance if you charge it for long enough. And you can use it back to back too. And the charge up doesn't even take that long. He's gonna be so much fun. So if you stand in the circle, you get 10% increased movement speed. Your lunge and pounce become faster. And your lunge cooldown gets reduced by 6 seconds. I still can't get over that. That seems like a really, really big cooldown reduction. So I guess the trick is what, you lunge first? Because does lunging give a mark? Or is it basic attack, leave a mark, lunge? No, basic attack. No, because shred, if you do shred too early, you're going to have the attack recovery. I think you lunge, jump, lunge again, shred, if you have enough time. And then you use this, and then you go on the trail to reduce lunge's cooldown, and then you lunge again. Lunge and basic both leave mark? Okay, so you definitely want to start with lunge, I think. And if you start with lunge, do all abilities do chip damage too? Or is it just... Like, does lunge leave a mark and do chip damage? Yeah, you need to do your first and second basic within 4 seconds. So I don't know how quick that combo needs to be. But like, you see, only shred? Okay, only shred deals chip damage. Lunge is just the mark. So you lunge, and then since you leave the mark, your basic attack will do damage, right? And then you can also shred to do damage. And then if you can lunge afterwards, you lunge, and then you use heightened senses. You can basic, lunge, and basic again, true. The combos are going to be so interesting. I'm going to have a blast, like, when I make the guide for him, just trying to figure out all the combos. Because I feel like there's a few combos that'll can be good. At least. And different ones will probably be more important in certain situations. Think on this map, the area to the left of wherever this is right now, where that near the door is, I think you could probably jump over those too. Waiting for all the emo Hunter EMIL art, I would not be surprised. So whenever he steps on it, first off, can we determine the cooldown from this? Maybe like, oh, I don't know, like 14 or 15 seconds. Something around there. Lunge on a 14 or 15-second cooldown. Does it say? Am I stupid? No, it doesn't say. How much faster are these again? I want to look one more time. So is the charge faster, or is it this the lunge speed? That's crazy. So here he has chip damage, but he has no mark. And then lunge leaves the mark. Jump does chip damage. And then the shred... Okay, I actually fully understand everything now. So lunge only leaves a mark, doesn't do chip damage. The basic leap leaves a mark and also does chip damage all the time. And shred, if there's no mark, will do chip damage, but if there is a mark, will do normal attack damage. I understand. I fully understand. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to understand. So you... In this case then, what's the combo? Is the combo basic attack? Yeah, that's the combo. Basic attack, lunge, basic attack again. Because if you basic attack, you're always going to do chip damage. You basic attack to do chip damage, lunge, and then basic attack again, and then shred for an insta-down, right? And shred is the only one that's going to do attack recovery too. Is it lunge, basic, lunge, basic? You, I don't know. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the cooldown that you have to lunge a second time. You can obviously lunge, basic, lunge, basic. I think you have enough time for it, but I'm curious if you have enough time to lunge, basic, shred, and then lunge again before the attack recovery. I don't think that last lunge would really make a crazy difference, but... Dude, he really is like a fighting character, a fighting game character. Because you can lunge basic basic for 2 chip hits. And then shred is basic? Wait, I'm confused again. Because you have basic, and then right after this is shred. That's the shred. The basic is just the little boop, right? Probably gonna have to test it in practice mode when it comes out. No trust. I'm gonna be doing so much like just messing around in the practice mode. I might have to reinstall IDV on my computer to do the guide stuff though. Most likely. No, yes, you're right. VG, sorry. Shred is the basic, and then the intercept is the doopsie Makina. So true. Yeah, I think it's basic attack, lunge, basic attack, shred for your proper insta down chain, I think. Talking to the air, stop pulling me, no. And then let's see. Because the damage on shred will never change, right? The damage only increases on intercept whenever you have the mark. Or am I stupid? No, I'm not stupid. Because there's a mark right there. And that's still chip damage. But that, okay. So basic attack only does damage if there's a mark. So you can never lead with basic attack. Hold on. Lunge also does damage. So everything in your kit can do damage as long as you have marks. Okay. So you can start with basic to mark first, and then go to lunge to hit. Is this kind of like a... this is weird. This is weird. Oh no, I understand. I think. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Okay, watch. I don't know if y'all are picking up on this, but this is crazy. So here, and this point coming up, this like increases the amount of like potential for comboing tenfold. And I feel like makes him so much more interesting and easier. So here, obviously, does the lunge to get closer, leaps, shreds over, leaves a mark. Obviously, it doesn't do damage yet. Right now, they can lunge and they can still shred. However, whenever they hold down the watch, you see the shred cooldown right here? Remember what it's at right now. They hold down the lunge to charge it up, use it, and it's still at that same amount for the intercept. So this doesn't go down when you're like charging up your lunge, which is so peak. So this is why you are able to probably do that combo I was thinking of, where you lunge at the end. But I was like wondering, because obviously the lunge realistically only does one chip there. I was like, how are they doing a full insta down? It's because you lunge and then shred right after, which is a 75 damage, 75% damage. So if they already have a mark, there's a chance that it'll get adjusted before release. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to picture it in my brain. If you, I guess you have to lunge to start. You have to lunge to start, and then basic for chip damage. But you don't want to get rid of those marks too quickly. So it might be you might only be able to do that combo whenever you're max presence. Because this is max presence, you have 3 total charges you can do. This is so cool though. Being able to just lunge and then insta shred. Maybe it's just like the middle of it. They're playing Nyan and Comp? Oh gosh. you can lunge, and as soon as you hit, you're able to also shred. That's so cool. That's so cool. That should be a 75% damage, which is almost an insta-down if they have chip. I need to go so I can watch. Bye, Diva. Thanks for helping me figure out how this character works. Even though he's so simple and I should just have clocked everything immediately. This is also going to play a part in his combo for sure. Heightened senses. Because you can imagine that if the cooldown for your lunge is around 14 to 15 seconds, whenever you do your big combo, by the time you're finished with it, if you use this and walk over a trail, you'll have your lunge up immediately. Maybe not immediately, but pretty close. And this cooldown is decently long, I guess. That's so cool. So here you lunge to get close enough, basic attack to mark, lunge again, and also shred. And that's how you get the down from half. His movement is going to be so much fun. I'm curious if you can lunge over pallets and windows, or if it's only the basic attack jump that lets you do that. Like, can you jump over windows with this? Certainly not, right? Just realized it's Percy Dash, kind of, yeah. Although Percy Dash #1 isn't chip damage, and I also don't think it benefits from detention or tipping point. So, whatever. So he releases, when does he release again? I'll have to look. Pretty soon. I thought they were going to release the gameplay stuff like on the 9th this month. I think like the Essence releases on like the 11th or 12th or something in 2 weeks. I see. I thought this was like so much earlier than I thought it was going to be. 1.5, I see. I have to do grinding so I can get, actually probably not even going to be able to get his Essence stuff. There's like 0 chance, I think. Unless I get him from the 10 free pulls somehow, but I do not think that's going to happen. I have never been that lucky in IDV. There's the ping. I wonder if you can see this ping. I kind of imagine you might be able to. Saving my impos for the Madoka crossover. I'm saving mine for Kai's Essence. I wish we knew if he was an Essence or a shop, though. So then I could, like, actually decide. Jumps over the window. Shreds for the big damage. So dope. So dope. I am so... over the course of this little mini stream and analyzing stuff and thinking about stuff, I progressively became more and more interested in playing him. I'm very interested in playing him now. He seems very cool. Dude, I'm not gonna get over this. He's so fine. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not actually sorry. I can't help myself, though. I feel like they did this on purpose. I feel like this design is 100% on purpose. Because, like, obviously, like, the arms, whatever. Like, yeah, he has nice arms, but, like, they have no reason to do these shenanigans with his shirt, showing off the abs. There's no reason. There's no reason for them to be doing that, other than they know. They have to know. Well, it works. So, congratulations, Netties. Again, I think this is simply just a longer tinnitus range, essentially. Whenever he's in his human form, I think it's just longer tinnitus range, which is kind of a blessing and a curse. Because, like, yeah, you can tell when people are near you sooner because the range is bigger, but also there's a lot more room for error in finding out where people are supposed to be because obviously there's more ground to think about. So it could be good, but I don't know. It depends on if it does work simply just like an extension to tinnitus or if it works in like a way that you can actually see a direction based situation or see pings on where they are, which would be way too strong in my opinion. We'll see. They did not have a mark there. Oh, because this always will do chip damage. Never mind. No, it won't. It won't always do chip damage. So why did this do damage at all? Does it always TS no matter what? Because there's no mark on the top right. And there's no mark here until they hit. That's weird. I don't understand. There's the intercept. So your basic attack will never do a... At least it might, whenever it actually does damage, but I don't think it has an attack recovery at all. It's just the intercept that will. I wonder if there are going to be playstyles of Hertzier without, like, with just doing lunge basic attack. I feel like it could be possible. Like a purely chip only with just your lunge and basic attack. I think the only reason why it could be viable is the amount of, like, speed that you're getting might end up being beneficial to not even shred that much. But I don't know. I can't wait for Galatea's Survivor Form. True. I can't wait for Mind's Eye Hunter Persona Swap. I want that so bad in the game. That would be so peak. Yeah, well, I feel like there's not much else to think about for him yet. Until, not until he gets fully released. Oopsies. Pretty cool hunter. I'm excited for him. I was not expected to be as excited as I am to play him, but you know, things change. Also, I guess technically 6 days now because it's the 2nd. Saturday next week, IBC starts. The first stage starts. So I will be streaming that when it happens. My sleep schedule might change, but that's okay. But yeah, we're gonna be streaming IVC, which I think the first and second stage is the 8th and the 9th this month. So yeah, I'll be streaming that. Hopefully it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. I'll hopefully just be able to yap a lot as we watch matches. Yeah. But this was this little short stream reacting to EMIL Hunter. Pretty cool. I'm excited. So lonely, where's chat? Girl, everyone's asleep. It's like it's 1 in the morning, pretty much. 30 minutes till 1 in the morning. But yeah. All right, team. We're gonna end stream. Test server release date is tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will not have access to it. And I think not really next week. It's the 12th, I think, is the release. So not this coming week, but next week on Wednesday. But yeah. Anyways, bye guys. Bye. Thanks for reacting with me. This was fun. This was good.